Chat, here we go. We have a nice matchup of Diaz versus Wahvey. A salt mine rematch, I think. I assume Wahvey and Diaz must have played at least once in the salt mine. Feels like just about everybody played in the salt mine, but if not, they both were salt mine players, and there were a couple of the high finishers in salt mine, as Diaz, who is going to be named Star today for whatever reason. I don't know why it's censoring his name. I'm sure that it's just Diaz, but for whatever reason, Rocket League does not believe that your eyes are mature enough to see that. Wahvey over here in the TSM decal. Wahvey, unfortunately, eliminating that M80 squad that was trying to qualify here on this channel. Wahvey was going to have none of that as Diaz takes to the skies, has the reset, and a little wave dash shot underneath Wahvey to make it 2-0. It's just Diaz. He's streaming, and he's showing that it's Diaz on his side. Interesting. Guys, I think it's Diaz RLL, by the way, if you want to see Diaz's perspective. He streams. He does a lot of no mic streams, I'm pretty sure, which a lot of the top players do. And from my perspective, I feel like any player who doesn't like to stream, well, they might as well just do no mic streams. Seems like a no-brainer in terms of, you know, making a content bit of money on the side. As I'm sure lots of you will be very excited to tune into your no mic streams. Actually, Wahvey also streams himself. I don't know if he's streaming right now. He definitely doesn't do no mic streams. He's got face cam, he's got mic, he's got it all. He's got a 360 fake too, in order to get Diaz up in the air. And he's got himself on the board. Somebody in chat said, we need signs of life from Wahvey. Well, hopefully the 360 no scope is a bit of a sign of life. As Wahvey plays off the wall. How about that for a sign of life? Just slightly off target, though. A kickoff win into wall to air dribble, and that reset sent the ball flying. Just barely off target. Wahvey, what an own goal. What an own goal from Wahvey. Wahvey streaming, too. Oh, it's a double stream match. A triple stream match, I should say. There's my stream, and then there's Diaz and Wahvey's stream. Diaz faking this kickoff, and will take it to the back corner. Looking for a full field dribble. Has the reset. Oh, I thought he was going for the double. He was barely off target, slotting it top left, but because he missed wide enough, seemed like the follow-up was going to be the angle he was going for. Wahvey, goal line 50. Credit to Diaz for somehow finding a way to get that 50 to not fall into his net. Now, he didn't chase Wahvey down, though, and so Wahvey will be getting his second goal. He wanted to get this demo at the midfield, and you can see him turning infield, trying to predict Wahvey's retreats, but Wahvey did not head out that far. Turned back in on a much tighter angle. Huge kickoff win from Diaz, and he's not going to need to touch it again. Wahvey is just giggling on stream. Wahvey is definitely a happy-go-lucky guy. It seems like he never takes anything too seriously, which is very impressive and very admirable. And when I say he doesn't take things too seriously, it's not like he doesn't try. What a great angle from Diaz. You know, it's not like he's not trying hard, not playing his best. It's just that he's able to, you know, not get down too much and take everything lightly, maybe, is a nice way to put it. Which, I'll tell you what, is a very impressive quality. One that I'm not sure I could say I have if I was having to play in these 1v1 matches. Wahvey, little camera check to see where Diaz is at. Maybe thinking about trying to get that tight angle before the ball hit the back wall. But he really wasn't going to be able to get back to it either way. Diaz on the demo now. Has a bit of space. You haven't seen Diaz lose in ages. That is a good point. I think Diaz did lose. He lost to Jorius. I know that he had a streak going, and so did Nas. He and Nas both recently had streaks going for a long time. But ultimately, they both got theirs ended. Diaz got his ended by Jorius in a best of 5. You can go check that out on the YouTube. That's a nice little YouTube plug, by the way. Subscribe to the YouTube. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers this year. And currently, we're just a little bit behind pace, I believe. But Nas got his ended by Diaz, so a double trade-off Fortunately for Ness, he's got Joyas on his team to do the winning against Diaz for him. As Diaz trying to throw a wave dash fake, it would seem, but Wahvey intercepts. He's going to take this high on the back wall, looking for a tight angle, and he actually had it on target, but had it finishing near post. So Diaz is able to defend it, and now air dribble back the other way, and a bump. Not the first air dribble bump we've seen from Diaz, but certainly one that's maybe mechanical enough to not have you cringe. I know there's lots of people who are quick to cringe at air dribble bumps, but I think that one is about as mechanical as they get. And a fake kickoff will again get Diaz a possession. Can he bump Wahvey? He cannot. He does have free possession here. Wahvey dove for the demo, and it just so works out that Diaz, dodging that demo, also starts his air dribble. But Wahvey gets back, makes a save off the crossbar, keeps it from going in, and has himself within 2 before the final minutes. Which does seem like a achievable, deficit. I feel like if you go into the final minute down 3, you are in pretty big trouble. Whereas down 2, all you need is some goal. You have a ton of time to get it, and then at some point get a quick kickoff goal as well. And actually, you might even be able to get the goal with a lot of time left on the clock. In this case, Diaz, maybe a controller misinput. I don't know. That had to look like a disconnect almost. Yeah. Okay. That's not what Diaz does. He disconnected. Wahvey is the kind of guy who, will give him a goal. I was going to say, knowing Wahvey, I have a feeling he's turning away here, and he's just going to allow Diaz to have a freebie. It is too bad that this is really not, an equal trade-off, but it's pretty close. I think having to go to another kickoff, actually, you could argue, is maybe even better for Wahvey as he tries to play from down 2 in, a midfield game. What he really needs is maybe a kickoff to try and get a quick goal, but also kickoffs can hurt him because kickoffs can put him playing defense off of a Diaz air dribble and can make him go down 3. So yeah, Wahvey is a good guy. I can't imagine how you could ever root against Wahvey. Diaz is now securing this game off the back of kickoff goal. Ban Wahvey for throwing. Wait a second, chat. Wait 1 second. There has been some recent controversy in the RLCS about teams intentionally throwing. And I'm not sure if I've ever seen a more intentional throw than what I just saw from Wahvey. One in chat if we should permanently ban Wahvey from competing in show matches. I made it very clear at the start of the show match that there will be no intentional losing, and chat is just about unanimous. Now Diaz, you could tell, he didn't lose on purpose. That was a disconnect. He's fine. Wahvey though, leaving the net wide open. How can anybody go to sleep at night with a moral compass like Wahvey? Game number 1. Gonna go to Diaz, the best of 5. Rio! Rio! He would be the expert. Rio would be the expert on throwing, wouldn't he? And he says he can confirm Wahvey is throwing. Oh yeah, Rio is in chat to say, oh no, Wahvey is just having a bad day. He just had a bad day and he turned off kickoff and left the net completely open. Oh, game number 2. Who is Riho? Well, if you know about the YMC controversy, oh, nice air dribble bump from Wahvey. Riho is a member of YMC, the team that did get banned for throwing, and a player that did at least publicly argue for his gameplay being just unfortunate. But apparently is, has light enough humor about it to roast himself. Wahvey clearly no longer throwing as he is up 1-0 in this game number 2. Diaz is lethal in the back wall air dribbles and on the back corner dribbles. And he's insistent on making me seem like I don't know ball as he just took a full field dribble, left it to Wahvey for free, and Wahvey countered. But that has always been one of the risks of being a player that relies so heavily or, you know, defaults to playing full field air dribbles. Obviously, one of the big names you can think of is Chronic, or also a guy like Evo also likes to play that way. And sometimes you just leave dud shots and give freebie goals, and sometimes you pop off for shots like this. This time, it's a ground to air dribble and a reset just outside the net. So much movement on that ball to put it out behind Wahvey. It's a fake Riho? Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. A fake Riho just dropping into a bunch of streams. Because right now, Riho and the whole YMC discussion is pretty hot. So, you know, you're not going to get a ton of use out of that fake account. But there's probably a couple different baits you could do in order to get some laughs. I'll be honest. Oh my goodness, Diaz. Like I said, sometimes these wall-to-air dribbles across the whole field don't work out, and sometimes they make you seem like the best player to ever do it, and they certainly did right there for Diaz. But I was going to say, actually, when I thought it was the real Riho account, you know, Riho had actually gained a little bit of rep in my mind for being willing to, you know, just lean in and now just joke about it and accept that you made a mistake. I think the official YMC position from the players is still that they did not throw, that it was just unfortunate. Wahvey not going to be able to find a tight angle deep in the corner and is going to just elect to leave instead of try and continue to challenge. An interesting decision against a guy like Diaz, who will now air dribble from the back corner, has yet another reset, and Wahvey pre-jumped and forced him to use it early, which is probably a good adjustment. Wahvey maybe trying to intercept them a little bit too late earlier, allowing Diaz to use the early reset and still get the ball underneath the nets. Diaz, is he going to try and make something happen on 19 boost? Seems like he will. The best shot he can get off the side wall. Diaz, another full field dribble this time. Lost control early and couldn't catch back up to it. Wahvey, what a great read. Cuts infield and flicks over the top of Diaz instead of worrying about controlling the ball into any pads or picking up any corner boost. He recognized the aggression from Diaz. Did the right thing to punish it. Wahvey, fake touch into the corner. He got Diaz to slightly move out that way, but not enough to leave the net completely. But he did get Diaz the challenge and won that 50 onto the side wall. So Wahvey maybe starting to get a read on what's going to work here against Diaz. Where do you think Wahvey ranks among the top 1v1 players? He finished top 4 in North American Salt Line, right? I do think the North American Salt Line is weaker than the EU Salt Line, the EU MENA Salt Line. So I think that puts him at least, you know, outside the top 8. But I'd have to look. I think it actually would probably be a decent amount farther down. It is so deep over there in EU MENA. Diaz. Wave dashing that one away. Wavey's going to flick early. Wahvey swept Diaz in the top 4 Salt Mine Finals. Oh, is that right? And then he went on to play Daniel. Well, he's lost game number 1 here. But he's maybe starting to remember what worked for him previously. Where does RL Duels have him? RL Duels is not perfect by any means, but it is a pretty good tool to get a general idea of where players fall. For example, I think they're correct about number 1 Daniel. Diaz down 2. Looking to try and set up another big dribble. Wahvey stops it. Oh, are we going to see the full field psycho? Seemed like for a moment he was entertaining that, but instead he's going to allow Diaz to score. I imagine he was expecting to be able to recover and still make the save since the ball was going to be falling so far out, but Diaz was able to slot it. Daniel is ranked number 1 in ones right now. I mean, depending on who you ask, but I think yes. I think he is clearly the best player coming out of Salt Mine in North America. I think Nas at the end of Salt Mine was clearly the best player coming out of EU in the Salt Mine. And then as far as crossover data, all we really have is Daniel versus Nas, which went to Daniel. Diaz launching a big clear. Wahvey just needs to hit the ground, and he will tie up the series. Diaz clawing back a little bit late, but ultimately, Wahvey able to hold him off. Game number 3. Wahvey and Diaz. Diaz playing this ball to the back wall off the kickoff to get back to his favorite position. The full field dribble off the back wall. Goes down for the wave dash catch and actually finds a way to sneak this into the bottom right corner. Wahvey did not leave a huge gap for this to be scored in, and yet Diaz found a way to get it there. Did you guys know that I had people commenting? I had a recent YouTube video, by the way. Again, check out the YouTube. Trying to get to 100,000 subs. But it was about Daniel's goal that he scored in the RLCS recently. That was a very mechanical goal. We looked at a couple other goals, but I also talked about G2 and the difference between NA and EU in it a little bit, as Diaz tries to remind us all that Sam is also insane with a nice full field back corner dribble, and this time goes for the fake, which Wahvey has no choice but to entertain because it is Diaz we're talking about. But I said that, and I mentioned this on Twitter too, that Daniel is currently, at the top of ones, that Daniel in Beast Mode is the best 2s team. It just so happens that EU has the best 3s team and maybe, a couple of the best 3s team. But number 1 is certainly EU with Carmine Corp. And somebody said in my comments that was me being EU biased. They said, if you keep being biased, first off, this is a pretty funny goal. They said, if you keep being biased as a double bump. Excuse me. Zero boost. I need you to get out of the net. I'm trying to score. But they said, if you keep being biased against North Americans, like you're going to lose fans or something. North Americans are going to stop listening to you. And somehow he had that take about me saying that, wow, that could have been a goal. That Daniel is the best 1s player, Daniel and Beastmode are the best 2s player, and Carmine are the best 3s. And I just don't know what to say. If you still think that is, EU biased answer, I don't know what to tell you. Diaz thought he set the ball up the side wall in a position that he could protect. And you can see he's not even really boosting here. He doesn't feel like he needs to get up and keep Wahvey from getting possession, but he recognized way too late that Wahvey is turning and that he did need to get back up in the ball and prevent a steal. Wahvey was quicker than that. Stole it away, has himself a second goal. Diaz is going to pre-jump him as he goes to the ceiling and back down to the ground. Diaz to the back wall, has the save, and that is 1v1 in this day and age. The pre-jumping defense, the adjustments made by both players, Enough so that Diaz is still able to find a way to get the save. Wavy little wave dash pop, and it's enough. I wasn't sure if it was going to be, but he cuts it around Diaz. And Diaz maybe a couple pixels off. Flipped a bit too early. I think if he had kept boosting and flipped a little bit later, he might have had a better chance. Wait, was that an own goal? Was that a Wavy own goal? I looked at chat for a second. I have to watch it again. Sorry, Wavy. As he lost his kickoff. Not really. He kind of had to, no matter what. Wait a second, throwing? Megaloblastic he is not going to stand for any Wavy throwing in his show match. Nice read on the fake kickoff. Earlier, Wavy was giving the ball. This time, he read it perfectly, and he actually instantly converts off of it. Any plans to have Rawasan soon? I think a lot of the Saudi Arabian guys are hard focused on threes because of the Saudi E-League and because of RLCS. They're just pretty busy. So, you know, whenever they want to play again, I'll be ready. Another fake. Ooh, Wavy able to not full commit to the shot. And does make a save on the fake. He's now trying to rush his counterattack. Did he get a full reset on the ceiling? The angle is slightly off, and it's actually off enough that Diaz gets a goal. If it's a little bit better, I don't think Diaz can control this as easily. You know, even if it wasn't going to be a goal, but because it was almost straight down and in front of Diaz, it's trivial for him to counter. Rawasa started streaming. Yeah, I saw him and Killier is playing on Rawasa's stream. He's doing no mic streams. Oh, Diaz. Diaz sees Wavy on the inside of the back wall, looking to make a save as he pops it up. So instead of going immediately, he gets the reset, puts it on the back wall, and uses the flip in order to score the goal only after Wavy has left the play. And it ain't nothing for a guy like Diaz to do something like that, as Wavy's going to go for a fake to bring it within one. What's Rawasa's Twitch? I think Rawasa's RL_RW9. Wavy, by the way, is, I think, just twitch.tv/Wavy, as we did mention earlier, he's streaming. And then Diaz, who I think is also streaming, as he goes up too, is twitch.tv/DiazRLL. A second L in there. Pivotal gain number 3. Oh my goodness, what a slot. I mean, this is so impressive. Sure, maybe isn't one of his full field dribble resets, but my goodness, I mean, that window is not really available, but I guess if you go crossbar down with that amount of power, then I guess it is. And you could turn what would really not be a kickoff goal for anybody else into a kickoff goal. Diaz gonna head to the back left corner, and now start a big dribble, has a reset, gets dunked by Wavy, but does recover to prevent the immediate goal. And Diaz actually just gonna rise up and collect the ball, which is kind of just floating high in his corner, and try and convert a dribble out of it. And it ended up being a bit too greedy. I was gonna say, you know, if there's anybody who can do it and get a decent shot out of it, it's probably Diaz, but you could see him falling short of the net with no boost. Could not continue to make a play on the ball, and ultimately ended up just kind of giving a freebie over to Wavy. Now Wavy on the ground. The hook shot classic. Diaz does close the distance enough to intercept it. Wavy within 2. With a minute left to go. Last time he scored on 50 seconds. Can he do it again? Yes, he can. 52 seconds now that he has saved for the rest of this game. Last time, I think he was able to get it, but because Diaz controller DC'd, then they went back to the kickoffs, and Wavy lost like every single one. Diaz was able to extend that lead. Oh, nice. Slow play into the wave dash pop in order to get Diaz to miss. Single jump. Looked like he was playing it slow, like maybe he was going to be faking. And then only after Diaz looks to dive, then getting a really strong touch at the end of the wave dash to push it past him. And now he's got himself a tie game. Diaz, he does not mind getting kickoff possession and taking it to his back corner. He loves to play from there, but Wahvey trying to play close this time around. At the very least, forcing Diaz to get a possession later and play on the ground, but Wahvey couldn't get a big enough clear. Wahvey out of the inside of his nets. Decided to hold on to a little bit of boost. Maybe he needed to try and use that to get one more touch in the air, get it out past Diaz. It's so important to get that ball landing on the opposite side of the player, but didn't really have the angle to do so. So Diaz is able to corral it back in and regain his lead. Wahvey, couple bumps on the back wall, didn't do the kind of damage he needed them to do. So now with 5 seconds, Diaz will tap it off the corner and just play the challenge that he knows Wahvey has to take considering the game context and tap it down to the ground. So Diaz with a 2-1 lead in this best of 5. Diaz and Wahvey. Diaz going to start it off with a fake kickoff and look to go the full distance of the field, and he will, because it's Diaz. Not everybody can do this from their own back wall, but it's a walk in the park for the South American Diaz. Wahvey will win this kickoff though, and will take it down to a dribble. Seemed like maybe he was trying to get a single jump and then a fake, but oh, what a great recovery from Diaz. He needed that demo. Wahvey was on the right side of the ball. Diaz, double reset. Falling far from the net though. Wahvey is able to react to that final flip. He is just going to boom this long shot, and it's perfectly on target. Wahvey dove in a little bit, maybe thinking about stealing that corner boost, but really was never going to win that race. By the time he turns around, he has left the net open for a long shot, and that's exactly what Diaz takes. Diaz for a moment looked like he was maybe going to look for a sidewall angle, but he realized that that angle is not possible. The ground would interfere here. You see he's holding it there for a second. He's like, actually, no. There's no way I hit that. I'll just fall upside down on the ground. So instead, turns to land and gets himself his third goal. He's trying to end this series, make it 4-0. He's put himself in a great position at the start of game number 4 off the back of some solid kickoffs. And I think, as chat pointed out, the last time these guys played, it was actually in the salt line, and it went in favor of Wahvey. So a big grudge match for Diaz, I'm sure, who wants to show he can clap back on Wahvey. He's able to steal that corner boost, wasn't he? Yeah, Wahvey starved out. Wahvey just getting taken all the way to the opposite side of the field on the top of Diaz. Now he's going to have to recover, grab midfield boost while Diaz starts the full field dribble. Oh, it's a double. It's saved. Wahvey got a touch, put it into the crossbar, but Diaz was still around to finish it off. And so, unfortunately, it does end up being a goal. Big kickoff. Wahvey reads it. Not going to be able to convert as cleanly as he did the last time he scored off of reading the fake kickoff. Diaz. Oh my goodness. He is so threatening. I mean, everything is possible. A lot of that has to do with the setup. I've talked about it before. Perfect setups right down the center of the field where he can threaten any part of the nets. High, low, left, right. Everything's available if he really wants to. And so you have to respect all of it. And somebody who can truly do that, who can truly set up their shots in a way that you have to respect everything, is impossible to defend against. I mean, Diaz, he throws in the fakes just enough too as well to make you always guess whether or not he's just going to drop it to the ground. Why are you guys being biased for Brazil? It's always nice when someone spells biased that way because then you know they're in on it. Because obviously, being in favor of somebody who's currently up 6-0 in the way Diaz is certainly is justifiable. Wahvey not even able to catch Diaz slightly out of position for a goal there. As Diaz does find his way back. Not going to be able to follow that one up out of the air. 62 boost to work with. What can Diaz get? It's not going to matter. Wahvey, challenge from the ceiling. He needs goals to start coming in very soon, at the very least shots, because he hasn't really had either so far in this game. In fact, I'm going to go check how many shots he has. Actually, he has 4 registered shots, but I don't really remember a ton of very threatening positions for him. Can he get one here? He can't. Oh, no, he can't. It was not an easy angle. The ball falling from the ceiling near the back wall. He tried to jump off and get it on target. He could not. This is a great opportunity, though. If this isn't a goal, then he's lost. But it is. And so there's maybe a world in which he fights his way back. Wave dash kickoff for Wahvey. He wants a wall to air dribble on the side wall. Wahvey intercepted. And Diaz will be able to chase this down for a goal. Unfortunately for Wahvey, the ball did not have too much power on it, so it stays available to get the angle. And of course, chat is going to go crazy for the 7-1 that a Brazilian gets. Chat, to be honest, I know very little. Wow. What a demo. I'm so confused how that happened. It seemed like he could have scored, but instead he went for the demo on the retreating Wahvey. But was it not Germany versus Brazil? Was it not? It's called the Brazil, but it's Brazil just choked, right, and lost. They're the team that got the 1. 2014 World Cup semifinal. And Brazil lost. So this is redemption for Brazil. Now, unfortunately, it's not against a German player. Thank you for the raid. Huge raid from Jorby. Hope everyone had fun getting their matches commentated by Mr. Jorby. 7-3 now, though, as Wahvey has not given up. 33 seconds. And it certainly is winnable. You just have to win immediate kickoffs into the goal. And even this double 50 is maybe a bit too much time taken, even if Wahvey scores here. Great challenge. Was that a reverse challenge? Was that a reverse challenge? Was he flying through the air at max speed? He must have 180. Okay. For some reason, it looked like he almost jumped in reverse, but he had to have turned around. And I just didn't notice it because he was behind the ball or something. Diaz, he will hold on. Wahvey, one last chance to get a double, but it'll hit ground. It's 3-1 in favor of Diaz. If it weren't for Joriez, the thorn in his side, there are very few people who have been able to contend with him.